shall now be rendered as of environment shall now be rendered as an authority to be known as the Kenya Meteorological Service Authority. Your Excellency, sir, with the National Assembly and the Senate having discharged their lawful mandate in enacting the Miscellaneous Fees and Levies Amendment Bill 2025 and the Mediated Coffee Bill 2023 and the Meteorological Bill 2023, it is now my most humble duty to petition Your Excellency as the head of state and government to exercise the authority conferred upon you under Article 115 of the Constitution and assent these bills into law. To set the stage for the presidential assent, I seek Your Excellency's permission to invite the following members of the executive alongside the parliamentary leadership to witness Your Excellency set your hand onto the bills. His Excellency the Deputy President, His Excellency the Prime Cabinet Secretary, the Speaker of the National Assembly, the Speaker of the Senate, the Cabinet Secretaries for Environment and Roads and Infrastructure, the Majority Leader of the National Assembly, the Minority Leader of the Senate, or the Deputy, the Deputy Majority Whip of the National Assembly, the Whip of the National Assembly, Majority Whip, the Solicitor General on behalf of the Attorney General, and the two Principal Secretaries present. Your Excellency, sir, with your kind permission, I now invite the clerks of our two houses of parliament to present the vellum copies of the bills for your consideration and assent. The lead in assent of the first bill unto you, the clerk of the National Assembly, and thereafter the clerk of the Senate will follow.
Your Excellency, I have the instructions of the Speakers of Houses of Parliament to place before you these vellum copies of bills for your assent. The first one being the Miscellaneous Fees and Levies Amendment Act, which is a bill which was introduced in the National Assembly following Cabinet approval. The bill was introduced by the leader of the majority party, who is a member for Kikuyu constituency, the Honorable Kimani Chongwa. Your Excellency, the principal object of the bill is simply threefold. One of it is to create a railway development levy fund, because currently railway development is simply a levy without a fund. The bill also establishes a board for purposes of the management and administration of the fund to ensure that the monies that go into the fund are well utilized. Your Excellency, the bill also expands the scope of the employment of the funds that are collected under railway development levy, so that the funds are used for the construction, expansion of the entire railway network, irrespective of classification, given the changing times and the changes in technology, Your Excellency. It's a short bill, Your Excellency, which was introduced at the beginning of this year by the leader of the majority party and was passed by the House last week, Your Excellency. The bill will also assist in mobilizing necessary capital for purposes of the construction of the railway transport in the Republic of Kenya, irrespective of classification. The bill allows the Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury to come up with the regulations under Section 24 of the PFM Act to actualize provisions of the new act. Your Excellency, the second bill is a coffee bill, which was originally a bill that started in the year 2023. Your Excellency, the journey of this bill started in the Senate. The bill was introduced in the Senate as a majority party bill, and it was passed in the Senate in the year 2024. It came to the National Assembly towards the end of that year. It went through the motions in the National Assembly. The National Assembly passed it with amendments, sent it to the Senate. The Senate passed most of the National Assembly's amendments, disagreed on some, committing the bill to a mediation process. The Speakers of Houses of Parliament appointed a mediation committee to mediate on the bill. The bill was finally passed. The mediated version of the bill was finally passed by both houses, Your Excellency, at the beginning of this year. This bill, Your Excellency, is intended to revolutionize the coffee industry and take it to a place better than where it is currently. The bill removes the function of promotion, production, development, and marketing of coffee from the Agriculture and Food Authority to the new entity, the Coffee Board. The bill, Your Excellency, also reestablishes the Coffee Research Foundation, whose function is currently being undertaken by an institute under Carlo. The bill gives certain functions to the board, including the marketing and promotion of coffee, and gives certain functions also to the training institute, including the promotion of coffee in Kenya and outside Kenya, and promotion of the Coffee Kenya brand. Your Excellency, the bill has a plethora of transitional provisions, and which also amends the current AFA Act so as to remove those functions from the Act. It also has provisions which also amends the CARO Act so as to remove, again, functions of research and training which are currently under CARO. The bill...
We are acting in reverse. We were
consolidating.
There was a consolidation of those functions, because at some point we had 100 different laws in the agricultural sector, and there was a multiplicity of institutions, and the reasoning at that point was some of these functions can be consolidated and undertaken by one institution. So we now seem to be working in reverse.
Your Excellency, at second reading of the bill in both houses, the feeling of the houses was that the consolidation has subdued the growth and promotion of coffee, tea. That's why tea is also has been removed from the AFA, and sugar. Your Excellency, you recall you also assented to the Sugar Act. The idea is to remove some of those functions from AFA so that the growth of tea sector, the coffee sector, the sugar sector, which are currently consolidated together with others in the AFA, can be done by separate entities, Your Excellency. Seek your leave, Your Excellency, to end my commission for the day.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Morning, Your Excellency. I have the honor to present the Meteorology Bill 2023, Senate Bills number 45 of 2023, a bill sponsored by Senate Majority Leader, Senator Aaron Cheriot, Senator for Kericho County, navigated through the House by the Committee on Land, Natural Environment and Natural Resources. The bill, having been passed by both houses in the same form, is referred to Your Excellency for assent by by the Speaker of the House in which the bill originated, being the Senate. The principal object of the bill is to establish a legislative framework for the regulation, coordination and monitoring of meteorological services in the Republic. The bill will enable the Republic to comply with her international obligations in relation to meteorology, particularly the Chicago Convention, which requires states to designate an authority for purposes of regulation of meteorology. This enables the regulation of aeronautical services worldwide. The bill will establish an authority, the Meteorological Services Authority, which will be the successor of the Meteorological Department, which has operated under executive order under various ministries, and at the present time is in the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources. This gives it it becomes a body corporate that it will be better enabled to implement all the policies of government in relation to meteorology. The importance of meteorology, Your Excellency, cannot be gainsaid.
Did we manage, because there was a proposal that this be, there are services that can be commercialized.
Yes.
That this gives the opportunity now to commercialize some of those services.
Yes, Your Excellency. Because the authority is a body corporate, it is now able to regulate those services, and including commercializing them. So it will be responsible for both meteorological services for public, as a public good, and also as a private service. Your Excellency, upon enactment, there are transitional provisions that enable the authority to take over what was the meteorological department, with the option that staff serving in the department are able to transition to the authority or to be redeployed in the civil service if they choose within 1 year. Allow me, Your Excellency, to present.
Thank you. This is very good. With Your Excellency's assent and the sacred trust it carries, the nation's sight now look beyond the bottom-up economic transformation agenda towards the realization of first world status within a generation. Your Excellency, sir, I now invite you to hand over the copies of the Act to the Deputy President, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, to the Solicitor General on behalf of the Attorney General for publication into law, and the Cabinet Secretaries present for implementation. Your Excellency may also graciously present ceremonial copies of the Act to the Speaker of the National Assembly, the Speaker of the Senate, the Leader of the Majority Party in the National Assembly and the Senate, and other members of Parliament present, and all esteemed state officials in attendance. Your Excellency will unveil and display an open ceremonial copy of the Act, while other state officials shall bear closed copies. Your Excellency, sir, permit me now to request all members of the executive and the parliamentary leadership to retreat, other than the Speaker of the Senate and the Senate and the Cabinet Secretary and Ministry of Cabinet Secretary of the Ministry of Ministry of Environment officials. PS, Environment. You're in the photo. Okay. Thank you, sir. Your Excellency, the other members to retreat. I invite two other photo sessions, the Speaker of the Senate, the Committee of Lands and Environment, and the other leadership of the Senate. Thank you, sir. The Speaker, the members can retreat. Then the last photo, the Speaker of the National Assembly, the Majority Leader of the National Assembly, and other members from the National Assembly, and the Ministry of Transport officials. Thank you, Your Excellency, and this marks the end of our ceremony today.